Over 60. 4 cheeses you should never touch and 4 you must eat daily. Senior health tips. 4 cheeses you should eat and 4 you should avoid after 60, science-backed guide for seniors. Did you know most seniors are eating cheese the wrong way? Did you know that more than 85% of Americans over 60 eat cheese at least twice a week? Cheese is one of the most loved foods in the country, and for good reason. It's delicious, versatile, and packed with nutrients. But here's the shocking truth: most every senior makes at least one critical mistake in the cheese aisle, and it could quietly be cutting years off their life. Scientific research shows that certain types of cheese can double your risk of heart attack and reduce your chances of reaching 80 by nearly 40%. The worst part? Most people have no idea which cheeses are harming them, because they look perfectly normal on store shelves. The good news is, the solution is surprisingly simple. By learning which cheeses to choose, and which to avoid, you can protect your heart, keep your bones strong, and even support better brain function as you age. What you'll learn today. In this guide, we're going to break down the 4 healthiest cheeses you should eat regularly after 60. The 4 cheeses you should never touch if you care about your heart, your memory, and your future health. The worst cheese on the list has been linked to an 80% higher risk of stroke, and chances are, you've already eaten it this week without thinking twice. Join the conversation. Before we dive into the list, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching from? How old are you? And what's your favorite cheese? Share your answer in the comments. We read every single one because your experience might inspire someone else to make healthier choices. And if you're serious about staying strong, active, and healthy well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new science-backed tip. Let's begin. The 4 best cheeses for people over 60. These are not just tasty options, they're backed by research for supporting bone health, improving digestion, and even lowering your risk of age-related diseases. The 4 best cheeses for seniors over 60. 4. Aged Gouda, a natural bone and heart protector for Americans over 60. If you are over 60 and looking for a cheese that supports strong bones, a healthy heart, and better digestion, aged Gouda should be at the top of your list. Unlike young or mild cheeses, Gouda that has been aged for 18 months or longer goes through a transformation that makes it a true nutritional powerhouse. Why aged Gouda is ideal for seniors. As we age, our digestive systems often become less efficient at breaking down and absorbing nutrients. Aged Gouda solves that problem naturally. During the long aging process, the proteins in the cheese are broken down into small, easily digestible peptides. This makes it much gentler on the stomach and easier for older adults to absorb its valuable nutrients compared to fresh or processed cheeses. But the biggest reason to add aged Gouda to your diet is its high content of vitamin K2. This vitamin is rarely discussed in mainstream nutrition, but it is essential for anyone who wants to maintain heart health and strong bones as they age. The calcium traffic director. Calcium is crucial for bone health, but in many older adults, it ends up in the wrong place, inside the arteries instead of in the bones. Vitamin K2 acts like a traffic controller for calcium, moving it away from your arteries and into your bones where it belongs. Scientific studies from Japan have shown that people with higher vitamin K2 intake had 50% less arterial calcification and significantly stronger bones, reducing the risk of fractures and cardiovascular problems. Just 1 ounce of aged Gouda provides around 75 micrograms of vitamin K2, which is more than most Americans get in an entire week. Considering that low K2 levels are linked to osteoporosis and heart disease, this makes aged Gouda a powerful ally for seniors. More health benefits you should know. Rich in CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. CLA is a healthy fatty acid that research links to reduced belly fat, improved immune function, and even protection against certain types of cancer. Gut-friendly postbiotics. During aging, beneficial bacteria create natural compounds called postbiotics. These support a healthy gut microbiome, reduce inflammation, and may even improve mood and mental clarity by supporting the gut-brain connection. Aged Gouda is virtually lactose-free, making it safe for most people who are lactose intolerant. The best way to eat aged Gouda. For maximum health benefits and flavor, eat 1 to 1.5 ounces per day. Let it sit at room temperature before eating. This enhances flavor and makes its nutrients more bioavailable. Combine it with apple slices or whole grain crackers. The fiber in these foods helps your gut absorb Gouda's beneficial compounds and work synergistically with its natural postbiotics. Aged Gouda isn't just a delicious snack, it's a strategic food choice for Americans over 60 who want to protect their heart, strengthen their bones, and support healthy digestion. Adding it to your weekly diet can be one of the simplest ways to invest in long-term health. Parmigiano-Reggiano, the king of cheeses, for a reason. If there's one cheese every American over 60 should consider adding to their diet, it's authentic Parmigiano-Reggiano. Known as the king of cheeses, this Italian classic is far more than a flavorful topping for pasta. It is a nutrient-dense superfood that supports bone health, muscle maintenance, and even brain function as we age. Parmigiano-Reggiano is not the pre-grated powder in green cans you find in most grocery stores. Authentic Parmigiano is crafted in Italy using traditional methods that have been perfected for nearly 900 years. The strict production process and long aging period give this cheese a nutritional profile that makes dietitians and researchers take notice. Why Parmigiano-Reggiano is a nutritional powerhouse. High quality, easily digestible protein. 1 ounce of authentic Parmigiano-Reggiano provides around 10 grams of protein, but what sets it apart is the digestibility. The cheese is aged for 24 to 36 months, during which its proteins are broken down into smaller peptides and free amino acids. This process makes the protein almost pre-digested, meaning your body absorbs it quickly and with minimal effort, an essential benefit for older adults, whose digestion tends to slow with age. Because it contains all 9 essential amino acids, Parmigiano-Reggiano is considered a complete protein source, rivaling meat and eggs in quality. Seniors looking to maintain or rebuild muscle mass can benefit from adding it to their diet, especially if they struggle to consume large portions of meat. Bone-strengthening calcium with perfect absorption. Parmigiano-Reggiano is one of the richest natural sources of calcium, providing 330 milligrams per ounce, more than a glass of milk. But unlike many dairy products or calcium supplements, this calcium is paired with the ideal balance of phosphorus and magnesium, which maximizes absorption. Italian researchers have found that the calcium in Parmigiano-Reggiano has nearly 100% bioavailability compared to the 25 to 30% absorption rate of most calcium supplements. For seniors concerned about osteoporosis, adding this cheese to a daily diet can be a game-changer for maintaining bone density and reducing fracture risk. Mood and brain function support. Parmigiano-Reggiano contains high levels of tyrosine, an amino acid your brain uses to make dopamine and norepinephrine. These neurotransmitters are crucial for mental clarity, motivation, and alertness, qualities that often decline with age. It also naturally contains compounds called casomorphins, peptides that have a calming effect on the nervous system. Some research suggests these compounds may help improve sleep quality and reduce mild anxiety, making Parmigiano a smart choice for seniors dealing with stress or age-related sleep disturbances. 4. Lactose-free and gut-friendly. The long aging process naturally removes almost all lactose, making Parmigiano-Reggiano well tolerated by people with lactose intolerance. It also contains beneficial bacteria that survive the aging process, helping support gut health, a key factor in immunity and nutrient absorption as we get older. How to eat Parmigiano-Reggiano for maximum benefits. The way you eat this cheese matters. Instead of grating it over pasta, follow the traditional Italian method. Break it into small chunks using a knife rather than grating. This preserves its crystalline texture and keeps its nutrient structure intact. Eat it after meals. Italians often enjoy a small piece as a digestive aid. The enzymes in aged Parmigiano can help your stomach break down other foods more efficiently. Pair it wisely. A few drops of aged balsamic vinegar or a handful of walnuts can enhance mineral absorption and add extra antioxidants. The bottom line for Americans over 60. Parmigiano-Reggiano is more than just a cheese, it's a functional food that supports strong bones, better digestion, sharper focus, and improved mood. For seniors looking to maintain independence and vitality, swapping out processed cheeses for a small daily serving of this Italian classic could make a meaningful difference in long-term health. Grass-fed raw cheddar, the probiotic powerhouse every senior should eat. If you are over 60, grass-fed raw cheddar deserves a place in your refrigerator. Unlike the heavily processed cheeses most Americans buy, this properly aged cheese from grass-fed cows is nutrient-dense, anti-inflammatory, and gut-friendly, making it an excellent choice for heart, bone, and brain health. What sets grass-fed raw cheddar apart is that it's made from raw milk and aged for at least 60 days. This aging process not only eliminates harmful bacteria but also preserves live enzymes and probiotics that pasteurized cheeses simply don't have. These natural probiotics are essential for seniors because support digestion. Healthy gut bacteria help break down and absorb nutrients more efficiently, reducing bloating and digestive discomfort, which are common as we age. A healthy gut is the foundation of a strong immune system, helping you fight off infections more effectively. Improve mental health. Research on the gut-brain axis shows that probiotics may help reduce anxiety, improve mood, and support mental clarity, important benefits for maintaining cognitive health in later years. But probiotics are only part of the story. Grass-fed raw cheddar is also packed with vitamins and healthy fats that most Americans over 60 are missing. Vitamin A, retinol supports vision, skin health, and immune function, crucial for bone strength and protection against osteoporosis, especially in seniors who get little sun exposure. Vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects cells from age-related damage. Vitamin K2 directs calcium away from your arteries and into your bones, reducing the risk of arterial calcification and fractures. CLA, conjugated linoleic acid, and omega-3s, anti-inflammatory fats that protect your heart and may help reduce body fat. Because it's made from the milk of grass-fed cows, raw cheddar has 5 times more CLA and significantly higher omega-3 levels than conventional cheddar. It's essentially a natural supplement for joint, heart, and brain health, without the pills. How to eat grass-fed raw cheddar for maximum benefit. Let it sit at room temperature for 20 to 30 minutes before eating. This preserves its enzymes and probiotics and improves flavor. Pair it with fermented vegetables such as sauerkraut or pickles. This combination creates a probiotic powerhouse that supports gut health and digestion. Stick to 1.5 to 2 ounces per serving. This amount provides all the health benefits without overloading on saturated fat. Why it matters for Americans over 60. As we age, our digestive efficiency declines, our bones lose density, and our immune system weakens. Choosing high-quality, probiotic-rich cheeses like grass-fed raw cheddar is a simple, delicious way to give your body the nutrients it needs to stay strong and healthy. Swiss Gruyère, the best cheese choice for Americans over 60. When it comes to choosing cheese for optimal health after 60, authentic Swiss Gruyère stands out as one of the smartest options you can put on your plate. Unlike many popular cheeses that can raise inflammation and stress the heart, Gruyère is naturally anti-inflammatory, heart-friendly, and packed with nutrients that directly support aging bodies. Why Swiss Gruyère is a nutritional powerhouse for seniors. 1. Supports heart and artery health. One of Gruyère's biggest benefits comes from propionic acid, a compound produced by the beneficial bacteria used in its fermentation process. Clinical research links propionic acid to lower LDL cholesterol levels, improved arterial flexibility, which helps maintain healthy blood flow, reduced cancer risk, particularly in the colon, due to its ability to support a healthy gut environment. For Americans worried about cardiovascular disease, the leading cause of death after 60, choosing a cheese that actively supports heart health is a game-changer. Boosts the body's natural defense against aging. Gruyère is one of the richest dietary sources of glutathione precursors, compounds your body uses to produce glutathione, often called the master antioxidant. Why does this matter? Glutathione protects your cells from oxidative stress, which accelerates aging, weakens the immune system, and contributes to memory decline. After 60, natural glutathione production drops significantly, making foods that boost it essential for staying healthy and mentally sharp. The specific amino acids in Gruyère, including cysteine and glycine, are key building blocks for glutathione synthesis, giving it an advantage over other protein sources like meat or eggs. Helps maintain muscle mass after 60. Muscle loss, or sarcopenia, is a major issue for older Americans, often leading to weakness, slower metabolism, and a higher risk of falls. Swiss studies have shown that seniors who regularly consume Gruyère maintain muscle mass better than those who rely on other proteins. The reason is its unique protein structure. Gruyère's 12-plus-month aging process breaks proteins into easily absorbed peptides, requiring less digestive effort. This predigested protein helps build and repair muscle tissue without straining the gut. If you're over 60 and struggle to get enough high-quality protein without digestive discomfort, Gruyère is an ideal choice. Naturally lowers blood pressure. Gruyère contains special compounds called lactopeptides, which have been shown to naturally lower blood pressure by improving blood vessel function. This makes it a rare cheese that can be part of a heart-healthy, hypertension-friendly diet, as long as it's eaten in moderation. How to eat Swiss Gruyère for maximum health benefits. The way you eat Gruyère can influence how well your body absorbs its nutrients. Melt it gently into soups, omelets, or warm vegetables. Avoid boiling or overheating, as high heat can damage sensitive nutrients and beneficial peptides. Pair with whole grain bread or crackers. Whole grains provide magnesium and fiber, which help your body absorb Gruyère's B vitamins and minerals more effectively. Stick to about 1 to 1.5 ounces per serving. Gruyère is nutrient-dense, so a small amount goes a long way. For the best results, look for authentic Swiss Gruyère made from grass-fed cows. The traditional alpine grazing diet boosts its content of omega-3 fatty acids and fat-soluble vitamins like A and K2, both essential for heart and bone health after 60. The bottom line: if you're over 60 and want to protect your heart, maintain muscle, and slow down the effects of aging, Swiss Gruyère is one of the best cheeses you can choose. Unlike processed or high-sodium cheeses, it provides anti-inflammatory benefits, antioxidant support, and high-quality protein, all in a delicious, easy-to-digest package. Adding just a small serving to your weekly meals can help you stay stronger, more energetic, and healthier as you age. The 4 cheeses to avoid after 60. 4. Processed cheese slices, a heart attack in plastic wrap. If you grew up with grilled cheese sandwiches or quick lunchbox snacks, chances are you've eaten processed cheese slices more times than you can count. But if you're over 60, this is one food you need to think twice about before tossing into your cart. Those convenient, individually wrapped slices are far from real cheese. In fact, they typically contain less than 50% actual dairy, with the rest made up of sodium phosphates, emulsifiers, preservatives, and artificial colors. These additives might make the cheese melt perfectly and last for months, but they come at a serious cost to your health. The sodium content alone is alarming. Just 2 slices can pack over 600 milligrams of sodium, which is more than a quarter of your daily recommended limit. And this isn't just table salt. It's mostly sodium phosphate, a form of sodium that research links to accelerated aging, kidney damage, and increased cardiovascular risk. Seniors are especially vulnerable because kidney function naturally declines with age, making it harder to process excess sodium and phosphorus. The emulsifiers used to give processed cheese its smooth texture, such as polysorbate 80 and carboxymethylcellulose, can disrupt your gut microbiome. Studies show these additives may increase intestinal permeability, often called leaky gut, which triggers chronic inflammation. Inflammation is a major driver of heart disease, diabetes, and cognitive decline, 3 of the biggest health concerns for older Americans. Processed cheese slices also often contain artificial colors like yellow 5 and yellow 6. While legal in the United States, these dyes have been linked to allergic reactions and may contribute to hyperactivity and other neurological effects in sensitive individuals. Preservatives such as sorbic acid and natamycin extend shelf life but can interfere with beneficial gut bacteria, further compromising your digestive and immune health. And don't be fooled by the labels claiming these slices are a good source of calcium and protein. The ultra-processed nature of the product means the calcium and protein are less bioavailable, meaning your body struggles to absorb and use them effectively. Even more concerning, processed cheese slices can legally contain small amounts of trans fats due to labeling loopholes. Anything under 0.5 grams per serving can be rounded down to 0, so eating multiple slices can quietly add up to dangerous levels. Trans fats are strongly associated with higher bad cholesterol, lower good cholesterol, and an increased risk of heart attack. For Americans over 60, the combination of excess sodium, harmful additives, inflammatory fats, and poor nutrient quality makes processed cheese slices one of the worst choices in the dairy aisle. They may be cheap and convenient, but the long-term cost to your heart, kidneys, and overall health is far too high. If you love a good melted cheese sandwich, switch to a thin slice of grass-fed cheddar or Swiss Gruyère. Both melt beautifully, offer real nutrients, and support heart and bone health rather than harm them. 3. Cheese spreads in jars, the hidden chemical cocktail you should never eat. If you are over 60 and still keeping jarred cheese spreads in your pantry, it's time to reconsider. Shelf-stable cheese spreads are not real cheese, they are a processed chemical cocktail designed for long shelf life, not for your health. Unlike natural cheeses, which are aged traditionally, these spreads are heated, emulsified, and filled with additives to keep them smooth and spreadable for months or even years without refrigeration. This processing destroys almost all natural nutrients and replaces them with harmful ingredients that can quietly sabotage your health. Loaded with harmful fats. Many jarred cheese spreads still contain partially hydrogenated oils, which are artificial trans fats. Even if the label says 0 grams of trans fat, U.S. regulations allow up to 0.5 grams per serving to be rounded down to 0. Most people eat more than 1 serving at a time, meaning you could be consuming significant amounts without even realizing it. Trans fats are directly linked to higher LDL cholesterol, lower HDL cholesterol, and increased plaque buildup in arteries, a deadly combination for anyone concerned about heart disease or stroke. The American Heart Association has repeatedly warned that there is no safe level of trans fat intake. Even spreads advertised as trans fat-free often contain intraesterified fats, which research suggests may disrupt metabolism and increase insulin resistance, raising your risk for type 2 diabetes. A sodium bomb that spikes blood pressure. Cheese spreads are notoriously high in sodium, often exceeding 500 milligrams in just 2 tablespoons. And let's be honest, no one stops at 2 tablespoons. Excess sodium from processed sources raise blood pressure, increasing your risk of heart attack and stroke. Cause water retention, leading to swelling and extra stress on your heart and kidneys. Worsen symptoms of heart failure or kidney disease, which are already common in older adults. Unlike natural cheeses, where sodium occurs naturally with other beneficial minerals, the sodium in cheese spreads mostly comes from sodium phosphates and artificial flavor enhancers, which are harder on your cardiovascular system. MSG and hidden flavor enhancers. Most cheese spreads contain monosodium glutamate, or similar glutamate-based additives labeled as yeast extract or natural flavoring. While some people tolerate MSG well, others experience headaches, dizziness, and heart palpitation. Emerging research also suggests that high levels of glutamate may overstimulate certain brain cells, which could be a concern for seniors dealing with cognitive decline or neurological condition. Hormone-disrupting chemicals from packaging. The most concerning issue is phthalates. Industrial chemicals used to soften plastics. These chemicals can leach from the plastic jar or the inner lining of the lid into the spread itself. Phthalates are known endocrine disruptors, meaning they can interfere with hormone balance, particularly testosterone and estrogen levels. For older men, this may worsen low testosterone, muscle loss, and abdominal fat gain. For women, phthalates have been linked to bone density loss and increased risk of metabolic disorders. The long-term health risks. Regular consumption of jarred cheese spreads has been associated with obesity, from unhealthy fats and high-calorie density. Type 2 diabetes, from insulin resistance triggered by artificial fats. Heart disease and stroke, from trans fats, sodium phosphates, and arterial inflammation. Hormonal imbalances, from phthalates and other chemicals. In other words, what seems like a convenient snack can silently push you toward the very conditions you're trying to avoid after 60. The bottom line. If you want to protect your heart, maintain healthy blood sugar levels, and avoid unnecessary exposure to hormone-disrupting chemicals, skip cheese spreads in jars entirely. Instead, choose naturally aged cheeses like Parmesan, Gruyère, or raw Cheddar. These not only taste better but also offer real nutritional benefits that support your health as you age. Shredded cheese, the hidden gut disruptor you're probably eating every week. Pre-shredded cheese may seem like a convenient time saver, but for adults over 50, especially those focused on heart health, digestion, and longevity, it can quietly sabotage your gut health and nutrient intake. The problem starts with what manufacturers add to keep those cheese shreds from clumping together. Most pre-shredded cheeses are coated with cellulose, essentially powdered wood pulp, along with antifungal agents like natamycin. While these ingredients are approved by the FDA, they come with health concerns that most consumers don't realize. Cellulose is marketed as a harmless plant fiber, but it's completely indigestible. That means your body can't break it down or extract any nutrients from it. For seniors with sensitive stomachs or digestive conditions like IBS, regular consumption of cellulose-coated cheese can lead to bloating, gas, and irritation. Worse, cellulose forms a thin coating on each shred of cheese, which interferes with proper melting and nutrient absorption. The calcium, proteins, and healthy fats you think you're getting from cheese may not be fully absorbed because of this barrier. A safe antifungal with a hidden cost. Natamycin is an antifungal preservative that keeps shredded cheese from developing mold during its long shelf life. While considered safe in small amounts, natamycin is technically an antibiotic. Over time, consuming antibiotic-based preservatives can disrupt the balance of your gut microbiome, reducing beneficial bacteria that are essential for digestion, immune function, and even mood regulation. For older adults, a disrupted gut microbiome can mean weaker immunity, poorer nutrient absorption, and higher inflammation levels, which are all linked to age-related diseases. Accelerated nutrient loss. Pre-shredded cheese also loses nutrients faster than block cheese. Once shredded, the increased surface area exposes the cheese to oxygen and light, speeding up oxidation of fats and destruction of vitamins. By the time it reaches your plate, much of its original nutritional value, particularly vitamins A, E, and K2, may already be gone. Additionally, pre-shredded cheese often contains higher levels of histamines due to longer processing and storage. For people sensitive to histamines, this can trigger headaches, skin irritation, digestive upset, or even anxiety. Higher risk of contamination. Because pre-shredded cheese goes through extra processing steps, shredding, coating, and extended packaging, it carries a greater risk of bacterial contamination. There have been multiple recalls in the U.S. due to Listeria and E. coli outbreaks in shredded cheese products, which can be dangerous for older adults with weakened immune systems. The bottom line. Pre-shredded cheese may save you a few minutes in the kitchen, but it comes with real health risks, especially if you're over 50. The gut-disrupting additives, nutrient loss, and contamination risk make it a poor choice for anyone serious about maintaining good health, strong digestion, and a robust immune system as they age. Always buy block cheese and shred it yourself. Not only will you avoid unnecessary additives, but you'll also get fresher flavor, better nutrient retention, and improved gut health. Blue cheese, a hidden stroke risk you can't ignore. Blue cheese may look sophisticated on a salad or cheese board, but for seniors, especially those with heart or blood pressure concerns, it can be one of the most dangerous choices in the dairy aisle. The same mold that gives blue cheese its strong flavor also makes it a nutritional risk that most people underestimate. Why blue cheese can be harmful after 60. Extremely high tyramine levels. Blue cheese is loaded with tyramine, a naturally occurring compound formed when proteins break down during aging. In healthy individuals, small amounts may not be a problem, but in older adults, especially those on blood pressure or antidepressant medications, tyramine can trigger sudden and severe spikes in blood pressure. In fact, medical studies link high tyramine foods to hypertensive crises in people taking MAO inhibitors, a common medication for depression and Parkinson's disease. A trigger for migraines and allergic reactions. Blue cheese contains significantly higher levels of histamines than most other cheeses, sometimes up to 10 times more. Histamines can trigger migraines, skin rashes, hives, digestive discomfort, and insomnia in sensitive individuals. Since histamine intolerance often worsens with age, many seniors may experience symptoms without realizing that blue cheese is the culprit. Pro-inflammatory saturated fats. The fat in blue cheese is especially high in palmitic acid, a type of saturated fat linked to higher levels of inflammation and an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. For seniors already dealing with high cholesterol, diabetes, or heart disease, regular consumption of blue cheese may further raise the risk of heart attack or stroke. Potential exposure to mold toxins, mycotoxins. The distinctive blue veins in this cheese come from Penicillium roqueforti, a mold that produces small amounts of mycotoxins. While generally considered safe in small quantities, long-term and frequent consumption may lead to accumulation in the body. Some researchers believe that even low-level exposure could worsen chronic inflammation, joint pain, and brain fog in sensitive individuals. Who should avoid blue cheese? Seniors with high blood pressure or heart disease, because of the risk of sudden blood pressure spikes and increased inflammation. Anyone with histamine intolerance. Common symptoms include headaches, flushing, itching, digestive upset, and insomnia. People taking MAO inhibitors or certain antidepressants, combining these medications with high tyramine foods can be dangerous. The bottom line. Blue cheese may seem like a harmless indulgence, but for Americans over 60, it can quietly increase the risk of migraines, high blood pressure, and even stroke. If you enjoy cheese, consider safer options like aged Gouda, Parmigiano-Reggiano, or Swiss Gruyère, which provide beneficial nutrients without the hidden dangers of blue cheese. Why your cheese choices matter more than you think. When you are standing in front of the cheese section at the grocery store, it may feel like every option is the same, just different flavors. But the truth is far more serious. The type of cheese you choose can directly affect how you age, how strong your bones remain, how sharp your memory stays, and even how long you live. For Americans over 60, this is not just about taste or comfort food. It is about taking control of your future health with every bite you eat. The simple switch that protects your heart, bones, and brain. If you are serious about staying active and independent in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, the solution is surprisingly simple. Eat more of the good cheese, aged Gouda, authentic Parmigiano-Reggiano, grass-fed raw cheddar, and Swiss Gruyère. These cheeses are rich in nutrients like vitamin K2, CLA, and bioavailable calcium, which protect your arteries, strengthen your bones, and support muscle and brain function. Eliminate the bad processed cheese slices, Jared cheese spreads, pre-shredded cheese, and blue cheese. These options are loaded with sodium, artificial additives, and harmful fats that can quietly raise your risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and even cognitive decline. Why this matters for every American over 60. Heart disease, osteoporosis, and age-related cognitive decline are some of the leading health concerns for seniors in the United States. Research shows that the right dairy choices can lower your risk of arterial calcification, improve bone density, and even help maintain healthy brain function as you age. This is not about giving up cheese altogether. It is about making smart swaps that deliver maximum nutrition without silently harming your health. One small change in your weekly grocery shopping could mean the difference between staying strong and independent, or facing years of unnecessary health struggles. Your turn, share your experience. We want to hear from you. What's your favorite cheese, and have you ever noticed changes in how you feel after eating certain types? Maybe you felt less bloated after switching to aged cheeses, or perhaps processed slices made your blood pressure spike. Your story could help another American over 60 make a better choice, protect their health, and enjoy more good years ahead. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. And if you care about living longer, staying stronger, and aging well, keep following for more science-backed health tips designed especially for seniors in America.